Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon on behalf of all New Zealanders, farmers, business people, employers and families. Sir, on the 1st of July, in just over 3 months, this government is going to force upon the people of New Zealand an experiment, a grand new experiment, an experiment unlike anything launched on anywhere in the world. Sir, on July the 1st, sir, it's not surprising that there is so much banter and discussion in this House, because all of the political parties in this House, all the political parties by the ACT Party, have been part of this huge fraud, this ETS tax that starts on the 1st of July. And so why is the ACT Party alone in opposing this tax? Sir, we can expect from the 1st of July an immediate increase of 5% in electricity and 4% in petrol, and those increases can expect to be doubled on January the 1st, 2013. And so those increased costs of electricity and petrol will flow through the whole economy. They'll flow through the cost of everything: food, housing, clothing, everything. Just a fortnight ago, Alan Bollard, the Governor of the Reserve Bank, confirmed to the Finance and Expenditure Select Committee that his latest estimates for inflation take account of a 5% increase in electricity and a 4 cent per litre increase in petrol, as forecasted by Treasury last November. Sir, our families will pay, our businesses will pay, and our farmers will pay. And sir, what makes this such a tragedy is our emissions trading tax goes further than any country in the world. Let me say that again. We are conducting an experiment unlike any other country in the world. We will be the first country to tax our farmers. That's right, our farmers have enough to compete with in an uneven trade balanced world, but sir, we are the first country in the world to tax our farmers. Sir, just last November, the Prime Minister proudly told Federated Farmers National Executive that agriculture would not be coming into the ETS tax scheme until 2015. And what he said is we won't be taxing the methane from animals from 2015. So farmers might have felt some sense of comfort. Well, sir, they shouldn't. Because if one takes the average dairy farm, 3/4, no less than 3/4 of the tax that farmers will pay come as a consequence of their use of electricity, the use of petrol and the emissions of the dairy processing factories. And so while it's very well for the Prime Minister to tell farmers they won't have to pay for the cost of their animal methane until 2015, farmers will be paying from the 1st of July this year. And sir, if there are farmers listening to this debate this afternoon, they might be surprised to find they're paying from the 1st of July, sir, but it is a fact. It is a fact. Of the average $10,000 cost for a dairy farmer or a beef farmer, in the case of dairy, sir, 3/4, no less than 3/4 of what a dairy farmer will pay relates to petrol and electricity and the cost of admission, sir. And why do we do this, sir, to ourselves? Why? Our three major trading partners, who are they? They're Australia, they're China and the United States. And what are our three major trading partners doing? Are they taxing their people? Are they increasing the price of electricity for their citizens? No, they're not, sir. And so the ACT Party stands alone, and it's not surprising this House has fallen into silence, because the members here should be ashamed. Why are we conducting this experiment, sir? Why are we conducting this experiment? Sir, it's not too late to change. It's not too late to change. Overnight, 12 hours ago, President Sarkozy of France has announced that France is putting on hold, is abandoning, sir, its intention to introduce a carbon tax in France. And why is that, sir? Because the French people have risen up in protest, and they can see, finally, sir, that France is a fool to go and tax their people when other countries in Europe are not. And sir, if Nicolas Sarkozy can show the leadership and abandon the French carbon tax, as he's done in the last 24 hours, I call upon the Prime Minister of New Zealand, John Key, to show the same leadership. Show the same leadership. Show the people of New Zealand that things have changed in the last 5 months. This House was told time and time again last year that we would not lead the world. We would be a fast follower. Our ETS tax would be based on that in Australia. Well, what happened, sir? There is no Australian tax. There is no United States ETS tax, and there is no tax in China, sir. And why do we allow the power generators to earn hidden profits, sir, and tax our people?
Order.